Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to zoom in on CJ Hobgood and pick his brain to find out what it was like to live, surf, and win during a shortened season. So courtesy of the Hobgood documentary and To If by Sea, let's take a look back and revisit the world-altering shakeup that happened in 2001 firsthand.
2001, start off the year great, and
smoke now just covers lower Manhattan.
there's 3 contests: France, Spain, Portugal. No way we were gonna do France, no way we were gonna do Spain. It was so close off the heels, it was too raw, too sensitive, and they just decided to cancel the whole leg.
CJ, thank you so much for joining us. Let's go back to 2001. You know, the season is interrupted by an absolute tragedy. You know, you were in a world title campaign right when the year started. You were going full force at it in your peak of your powers. So then what happens when everybody finds out about the events on 9/11 through the lens of the surfing world?
Honestly, like, I've drawn off that experience like most of my life. I never dreamed of winning a world title when the year was shortened. I mean, my dream was to like win pipe, world title, full year. Like, that's what I always dreamed of. And your dreams and what you think was normal is not always going to be your normal. And more times than not, it's not going to be your normal. We're like living in this time right now where it's not normal. It's not the story that we dreamed of. And I think the 2001 world title was like a perfect parallel or analogy with things that have always gone on, not only in my life, but what we're all living in right now.
When you get the world title, you have the elation, the joy. Did you also have, guilt? Did you have feelings of, what does this all mean when they handed you the trophy? I mean, obviously you earned it. No one can ever debate that. But what was going on through you, psychologically, dealing with the joy, but also this kind of confusing emotion of what does this mean?
I mean, that's a great question, Chris. It was that night, everyone's partying. And I'm sitting there at the Pipe House at Jerry Lopez's house. And, Kyborg looks at me and he goes, dude, he's like, this is your day, CJ. Like, this is your day. And I just looked at him and I was like, dude, I don't know how I feel. I just couldn't even like live in that story at that moment. It was too hard. It was outside of me. And maybe that was the perspective I have. I'm 22 years old and, those sort of things. So dude, it was just hard. It took time, man. And I think that's what's helped me out in these times right now.
That brings us to 2020, right? You've got John Florence returning. Gabriel Medina is angry coming back on tour. Italo's firing on all cylinders. Once we kick this thing back off, because I think, in my heart, I know we will, and I'm sure you feel the same. It's going to take some time, but we're going to kick it back off. What advice do you have? You've been through something similar. What advice do you have for the surfers sitting around waiting to eventually get that call to go back out there?
You just do what you do. The kids are going to be warriors. They're going to go out there and just try to slay the dragon. I think that's fine for them. I think the older crew, it gets a little bit trickier on how, the story gets played out. One I think about a lot too is Kelly. I mean, this is, potentially could be his last year. Like, he's already switching to gears. Like, oh my gosh, like I might have to go another year.
Let's just say, hypothetically, things kick off in May, tour goes full blast. Who is your surfer to watch in 2020 when we kick this thing back off?
It's got to be Gabriel and John. You can't look past those guys, man. Italo is just the catalyst, and we love his story and the people's champ. But like, as far as oil and water goes, and the villain and the hero, we want essentially John and Gabriel to go at it toe to toe. Just part the Red Sea and let these guys just freaking duke it out for 12 rounds. That's what we want.
Abbreviated year, similar situation to what you were in? What advice do you give me? I'm world champ 2020. What are you telling me?
Be kind. You don't have to have an answer. You don't have to have a feeling. The feeling you feel now will be different a year from now and 2 years now. Just be patient, man. Let's just allow time to do what time does. That's what I would say.
I love it. Thank you so much, CJ Hobgood from Orlando, Florida. Obviously, life without surfing right now is a little confusing, but it's about staying positive like CJ has been. So, CJ, I'm going to turn you back loose into the world. Be safe out there, and I'll be checking back in with you very soon, all right?
All right, brother. You guys have a good one. Thanks for your time, as always.
Always great to hear from CJ Hobgood. Now that was just a snippet of our conversation. So to hear the full interview, head on over to worldsurfleague.com. Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.